Namaste, beautiful beings. This is Blended Pearl, and welcome to this weekly cosmic update. This is a little bit of astrology and a little bit of irregular divination, and we just kind of see where the energy goes and allow guidance to come through. So I'll give you a little background of what's going on or what's coming up. So we've just had Mars station to go retrograde, and now he's in his retrograde phase. We've been feeling this pre-shadow before, so you've been feeling this slowing down, maybe even energetically. Your energy field feels a little bit more, I don't want to say sluggish, but a little bit slower. And it's this retrograde phase of Mars is going to look at your deep core wounds. What is it that you've kind of skipped over? What needs a deeper review, a deeper reassessment, so that when you come through the other end, which will be in November, you have like a renewed sense of self in all of that too. And then we have Jupiter stationing to go direct, which is actually favorable. Jupiter is the great benefic, the great guru of the sky, the wise one that wakens you up to new opportunity and to explore deeper parts within inside of yourself too, and to know that there's a greater world out of there. He's still in Capricorn. So there's still this, stifling of his energy. He's not in his most expanded state or self, if you will, but he's pressing through these structures and these binds that Capricorn has laid in his house and says, no, this is time for us to make these shifts too. And he's saying to his buddy Pluto, who's maybe was like in a little bit of a strange mood, if you will, and Pluto's going to be there for a while, and he's like, I'm doing some deep wounds here. I'm doing deep wounds here. Yeah, I'm digging deep into those deep wounds. I'm bringing up to the surface the parts that people aren't really wanting to see. They like to push it to the back of the closet. And, you like move 20 years later and that same thing has been stuck back there, and you're like, oh my gosh, dude, I'll just bring it with and put it into the new house. And you know that you have never touched it, but it's something that's so attached to your old self. And this is what Pluto is doing. He's like digging us up. And now Jupiter's going to come over Pluto again and says, hey buddy, wake up, let's get some energy into this. What are you doing? Do you need any help? And it's going to ask to give this like future vision, this new potential perspective that can awaken to you to a new idea, a new future self, a new future vision, this new earth energy. So with all of that, let us pull some cards and see what the energy really has for us in store in terms of what we can do, because I find that through irregular divination, it gives us some deeper guidance as to the self-work, self-care that we can do, the self-loving, self-love practices that we can bring into our day. And it is day. We need to be doing this on a daily level, not just every now and again, not even just once a week, on a daily level. It takes 5 minutes to sit still. There we go, 5 minutes, sit still, be quiet. Close your eyes, dab on some aromatherapy or something blended in a nice carrier oil. Dab it on your wrists, under your hair, below your ears, behind your ears, on your big toes. Wear a crystal, in your pocket, around your neck, as a bracelet. Wear colors too that are uplifting too, especially if you're finding the energy feels a little bit heavy. It's, I can see that where we are seeing what's in front of us. Earlier on I was doing a reading, and it was, it was about ebb and flow, but when I looked at the imagery, it was this big wave. I was like, it reminded me of being in South Africa on the Indian Ocean when you try to get into the water at the beach. The waves are crashing pretty high up on the beach, and so it's sometimes like, it's like a little like jig you have to do to like figure out a safe passage beyond the waves that are crashing on the beach. Get to the place where it's like kind of calmer back there. And so it reminded me of that, is that what we're going through in life too, is that we see the big fear in front of us, our big fear, and that stands in our way. But beyond that, there's so much potential that awaits. So let's see, take a deep breath in, full breath out. Let's see, guidance. See? It's so funny, I was talking about the big wave, and it says tsunami wake-up call. And this is it. We're at this time of a wake-up call. We're seeing, and it seems pretty bleak. It's huge wave, but it's like this huge wave, and it's really dark, and it sucks us in. And then there's this full moon that's in the background here, that's kind of hidden behind the surface of the clouds. And so again, there's this idea of things that we're not seeing. Earlier on, I did a reading too, and it was the iceberg. And very similar to, there was like this line or this fissure through here. This line energy is something that's slicing through. It's wanting us to see something deeper, something that we haven't really looked at. Remember I was talking about Pluto pulling out from your closet that old box that's full of these old memories, these things that hold you to a situation that's, or you've buried because you don't want anybody to know it. It's time to get it out and get rid of it. Instead of holding on to that old garbage, like relinquish all that stuff. It's like, that happened at a time when I was feeling this. Maybe I wasn't so secure at that time in my life, and I may have done this. And everybody, there's no guidebook for life. We're trying our best every day. This is also from a Akashic perspective. You're trying your best every day and every moment, trying to make the best decision for yourself at that time. If you think about any decision you've ever made, you're like, you felt that was the best decision to do for yourself then, however the outcome was. And so sometimes we hold on to these pieces that feel a little bit more bleak, a little bit more dark. And it's like maybe cleaning our closet out, to really look inside the back of your closet. Maybe there's something we can do this weekend, is go into your closet and find something that holds you to an old story. This is what this Pluto is energy too. It holds you to an old story. This is this house of Capricorn, this old story that it's time for you to dredge up, look at it, and then take this Jupiter expansive energy and help us move through. So I'm going to take another card just to see. I'm going to take one of the angels to see if they can give us a different perspective on this tsunami wake-up call. And also by the end or beginning of next year for sure, Jupiter will be in Aquarius. So there's this Aquarian waking up energy coming through too. So even though the waves seem dark here, there's something magnificent hidden, this beautiful moon out in the distance. So maybe we can start to look at the moon and start to see the moon energy as a reminder of an inspiration, something that feels inspiring. Maybe it's this, what is a wake-up call? It makes us change, makes us do something different. That's why getting rid of something old helps us to create more space, invite in new energy too. So there's something inspiring that wishes to come in, but we're not seeing it. We're looking at the tsunami and we're not seeing, the wake-up call. We can think of it like, oh my gosh, but actually, in fact, this wake-up call can be something that brings something better along, if you will, better than what we're experiencing right now. And how good would that be? Just think about it. It's just amazing. So close your eyes and take in a deep breath. And let it all go. You're always asking for guidance to be crystal clear and balance. Taking care of oneself. This is the thing that we need to do. Maybe let's sit there for that 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day. Maybe do your hair, and there's this thing about the hair, like do something that feels flattering with your hair. Maybe change it up. I know I discovered how to cut my own hair during the pandemic too. I hadn't cut it for almost 12 months prior to the pandemic, and then during it I was just like, this is getting ridiculous, it was so long, and I needed a trim, and I figured out how to cut my hair, and it was quite amazing to do something. So it feels like there's, like, even that idea about cutting your hair, if anybody's thinking about it, doesn't have to be shaved all the way off. It could just be trim your edges, whatever it is, do something. But it feels like this idea of taking care of one's self, and this hair piece wants to come through, this energy of the hair. Maybe she's got some flowers in the hair here too. So maybe if you're outside and you see a blossom, maybe you can stick it behind your ear. This balance too here, this yin yang energy, is so essential. It's, this sort of right way up, if you will. So it's coming into harmony. Balance is where we meet, and then together we create harmony. So maybe this is also all of us. When we find inner balance, inner harmony, then when we come out back into the world in our most natural state of being, in our most beautiful state of being here, our most balanced state of being, as we meet in the streets, we can create harmony with each other too. I like this idea. It's such a difference when you see, what is this thing? When we look towards aspiring us or inspiring us, there's an opportunity to step into this wholeness. When we each step into our own wholeness, we create that wholeness within the world. And this is also this 5D perspective of Capricorn. It's an invitation to really connect to that sacred part of your heart and your soul. This is a lot of loving energy here. So if you work with crystals too, you can use like a rose quartz or something like that to really bring that energy through to help you stimulate the heart center as well. And there's also this piece of the thymus, like this gentle tapping on the thymus as well to activate your immunity. And I like the word immunity. When I write it down, I always go, I am in unity. So if I am in unity within me and you are in unity within you, then we all are in unity. We're in this natural state, in this natural balance here too. So instead of us looking at the tsunami, we can start to see the brilliance of nature and how nature creates this beautiful harmony, especially when we're taking care of ourselves. So maybe there's this idea about drinking more water today, brushing your hair, washing your hair, putting in some coconut oil, putting a flower in your hair, trimming your hair, and then finding space just to adore yourself too. So hopefully that made some sense. So from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. Again, this is Belinda Pearl, and you can always find me at belindapearl.com. And this beautiful meditation and reading was created for Woven We Are and all the supporters of Woven and Alexandra. Again, from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste.